Great.
I
We are
like it.
excited. We are excited to be here this morning and excited to have our coach, Kristi Nelson, here to guide us through some of the BulaFit movement and to teach us what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right with regards to movement. And we are excited about this. And so I'm not going to get in the way of this anymore, Kristi. I want to pass it over to you. I want to thank you for being here, and we are excited for what you're going to share with us this morning.
Well, thank you, Todd. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday, right? It's Feel Good Friday, the first week of the challenge. And I hope, if nothing else, you're just noticing that you're feeling a little bit better, right? That you're getting your products in, you're being consistent. Maybe you're visiting the thought of movement or trying it out yourself. But now is the perfect time. And if nothing else, today, I just hope you're feeling better than you were before you started BulaFit. So let's get into it. I'm excited to see the people that are on the line today. If you're catching this as a replay, I'm excited to see you as well. Please, if you can, drop replay so that we know you watched it. And that way, if you got questions or if you need some extra support, I can see who's kind of plugged in and who might still need a little bit of filling up in the holes in the cheese, right? So today, let's just get it started, right? Let's just talk basic movements. I put out a tile that is our first set, our flex set, and it's just kind of getting our bodies moving and getting us warmed up. So the idea here is to incorporate some movement into your day. And I'm not talking about hours or 2 hours. I'm talking about anywhere from 12 minutes to 40 minutes. It doesn't have to be a lot. So the idea is to move my body in the basic movements, the basic core movements like squatting and lunging and hinging, pushing and pulling. Those are the 5. And so we're going to go through those, but we're going to start with baby steps and then get to the place where maybe we add a little bit of weight, or some of our BulaFit resistance bands. I've got some of those with us today too. So let's just get into that. The 4 movements that I dropped for you are pretty basic core movements. One of them is that alternating arms and legs. And it's really what we call it in the fitness industry is called a bird dog. And so I'm going to demonstrate that from the floor, but then I want to show some different modifications for that as well. So we're going to start that, and I've got a yoga mat over here. And you don't have to have tools and equipment. You need the size of the floor of a piece of towel, right? A big old towel, lay it up like it's a beach towel. That's really what you need for space on the floor. So I'm going to start here in the quadruped position where I'm on all 4s. And it's opposite arm and opposite leg. And they're going straight out to the top here, straight out full extension, and then back in. 2 counts out, 2 counts in. Inhale when everything's coming to the center. Exhale on the extension. Okay, same thing other side. One more. Excellent. So that's that. If I need to do a modification and I'm not ready to do that from a seated position, let me make an adjustment here real quick. I can do that from standing. And there's another video, I went live earlier in the week, and there's a video demonstrating this, where I'm standing on one foot, and I can use something for support or bracing, like a counter or a chair, and then I'm extending from the center position. So I don't have to be able to get down on the floor. I don't have to be able to be really, practiced at this. It could be brand new. Same thing other side. I'm actually doing it on the same side, which is okay to do when you're standing too. Works different parts of our muscles. So it's unilateral, the same side, or contralateral, opposites, right? It's a really great way to do it. Now let's say we're not ready for that either. Let's break it down further. It could be just something like this, where I'm taking my arm and raising it all the way through the range of motion. I could start here. Let's say I've got a mobility issue and I get here and my arm wants to do that before I get to the top. Instead of going pushing through the pain, I want you to stop where the threshold is. If it's here, you stop there and bring it down. Get back to it, bring it down. Next time, I can go a little further. All of a sudden, with practice, I get to the full range of motion without dysfunction. It's not practice makes perfect, it's perfect practice makes perfect. So some of what I'm going to show you is making sure we're in proper form and proper posture so that we're executing the movements correctly. So it's not just being the gerbil on the wheel and we're just moving kind of for nothing, right? So that was that movement. The next one I have there is a cat-cow position, or cow shoulders, I think it's called on the slide. And we're again in the quadruped position. And then I'm going to round my shoulders up and tuck my chin to my chest. Exhale on the push up. Inhale on my way down. Exhale. Inhale. It takes me about 2 counts to get into the position, 2 counts to release it. That's what I'm looking for there. Again, let's take it to the top. I can stand with it, and this is in the live. I start here. Oops, I'm a little high. Start here in the standing position with my hands on top of my quads. I'm going to slide myself down to my knees, stabilize my back, and then arch here. Back to center, back to the top. Slide it down, arch, back to the top. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale to standing. The rule for breathing is exhale on the exertion so your heart doesn't explode, right? The triple X. Exhale on exertion to relieve the blood pressure. That's what we really need to do. Now let's say that's still too much. I can stand and do this. I'm going to round my back and then open my shoulders wide. Exhale here. Inhale here. Breathing is super important in movement. Breathing regulation is the first thing we got to get right. Excellent. All right. You'll see walking lunges on there. Walking lunges are a traveling motion. So let's say you don't have a hallway or you don't have 10 feet in front of you to get 12 steps. I could do that here from a standing position. Again, if I need assistance or support, I'm going to do that. Step back, step to the center, back. The idea is to keep both knees in a 90-degree position so that my knee is not way over the front here over my toe. This is a lot of strain in the patella. If you see that or you feel that, I need you to shift your hips back so that you remain in that safe position. Okay, same thing other side. This is a full lunge. Let's say this is not where we're at. We're a little bit nervous about our knees. I can change it to just a tap back. Slight bend in the knee, weight stays in the front, and I'm pulling it back to center. You're welcome to do these with me or try them on your own after. Same thing other side. Step back. Now, let's say transferring weight is a whole lot and your knee is just not going to have that kind of a hinging motion. I could stand and tap back. I'm not bending my front knee at all, or the one I'm stabilized on. I'm just tapping to the back with my toe. I'm still getting extension in my hip, especially on the front side, and I'm working the small of my back, my glutes, my hip, my knees, right? Same thing. Other side, just taps. Movement doesn't have to be intense, it has to be consistent. Excellent. Perfect. Great job. All right, let's go to the front raise. The video there shows me, I think I've got 3-pound weights in the video. The important thing is the posture, right? So a little bit of a hinge, ankles, knees, and hips. My chest is a little forward. My arms start in a front position here. So with weight or without, I start here, and then I'm going out to the lateral position to the sides, okay? Actually, you can start here. Farmer's carry or in the front, it's up to you. You're getting more of a rotation on your way out here, which is good for shoulders. Or if you start here, you're just raising your knuckles straight up to the sky. Lift them up 2 counts, lower them down. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Excellent. So let's say I wanted to add some weights. About 3 pounds right here. So I start in my good position. Now I'm ready. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. You can do this from a chair as well. You want to make sure that you're at the back of the chair. You're seated all the way back to the back and your hips are at the edge of the chair and you're raising here. Make sure your chest is high and your head is up. And find a focal point on the wall where you can fixate on that. Those are your front raises or your lat raises. right? So those are the 4 movements in the first segment. I'm actually getting ready to shoot some new movement segments. So then I'll drop the next couple of segments so that you'll see that. In your app, those movement segments are being dropped to you, just like the other things in mindset for your nutrition part of it. Okay. So easy enough, right? If nothing else, just get up and walk. Just walk up and down the hall, walk around the table, right? Walk around the table once. And if that seems easy, do it again and do it 3 times and 5 times, right? Here's another one. If you're not sure about all of this, squats, do some squats. We used to do 100 squat challenges, right? And the idea there is, it sounds like a million when I say it, but the idea is break it down. Go 5 at a time, go 10. Then all of a sudden you're doing 25s, right? It's not do 100 the first day. If you can't, that's okay. Set a baseline. And then from there, try to progress, right? I said it's not practice make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. So I want you to get into the routine of building this into a habit, right? We've got lots of new habits that we're working on right now. And in 21 days, it's not going to feel like it's a task list. It's going to feel like it's part of your program, part of your daily routine. And that's what I want this to be. This is not something that's linear, right? This whole program, it has a start and a stop date for 60 days, but the idea is for us to share with you the tools and the tips for lifestyle so that this becomes a circle, a cycle, right? Lifestyle is a cycle. So if I'm focused on just one thing in the cycle, I'm kind of going to miss the mark. But if I can learn the education piece about all the things in the wheel, then it makes it a lot easier for me to self-adjust. If I didn't get my water done yesterday, today I need to focus on hydration. And then the rest of the pillows will follow, right? So I know we've got a lot to learn, but we've got a lot of time to do it. We're locked in at the arms and we're going to do this thing together. So I want to make sure I open up some time for questions. That was movement demonstration. A little bit, I'll start each one with a little bit of that with review. As we get through the tiles that are already out there, I'll be creating some other things for you. I've got a lot of stuff in my toolbox already, trust that. But that way we can make some progress and we're going to get some results that you can actually physically see and feel in your body. And that's amazing to wake up and have the energy to do the things that you love to do and know that you got the top shelf Nutra system in your cupboard to support you along the way. This is the recipe for success. I promise you. Without these products, I have been on the struggle bus. I'm telling you the truth. I have been searching high and low for the other resources to be able to have what I need for my body, and I just couldn't find it. So this is a blessing. This is a blessing in my life to have these products, these people, and then to be named the head coach. My mind is blown. So I am yours. You got full access. You can get me in the chat. You can private message me. That's okay too, because I know sometimes these are vulnerable questions and we feel a little bit cautious about asking. But what I can promise you is that if you have that question, there's someone else in the group that has it too. And so sometimes when I drop things, it might come from a conversation I had with one, but a lot of times I know my intuition tells me if one needs to hear it, so do others. And so don't be shy about this place. This is the safest place that you have to get the education and the knowledge that you need to take care of your body for the long run, right? It's about the dash. And that's what we're here for. So we're going to reset every 60 days and keep this thing going. But you got what you need. You got all the support. You got the best people on the planet, I promise you, to help you get this thing done. All right, let's open up for questions. I want to see your smiling faces too. I want you to turn your cameras on. One of the things that I want to talk about really quick too is non-scale victories, okay? This is not all about what the numbers say on the scale. And I want to talk really quick about how that can also be misleading. So if I'm only measuring weight, I'm missing a lot of the numbers. I'm not looking at where my skeletal muscle mass is or what my body fat mass might be or my body fat percentage. I'm also not in the know about visceral fat level. And visceral fat is that fat that's in the chest cavity and the lower abdomen. And it's like packing styrofoam in around your organs and your systems and then asking them to work efficiently. And it just doesn't happen that way. So that's the number one thing that we're going to target while we're doing this. Okay. So let's go. Let's see your faces. Let's see your smiles. Non-scale victories mean this. There are other ways of measuring than just stepping on the scale. How are your clothes fitting? What is your energy like? What is your sleep like? What's your skin like? How are your relationships, right? Because when I take care of me and I've got resource and money in the bank, I got a whole lot more resource for others. But if I'm at half full, it's really hard for me to pour to others, right? So I got to fill me up first, then I got overflow, and then I'm really available for what I'm getting served in the daily. When those things that come out of the blue come, it's not like, it's more like being in the matrix, right? Can dodge it like Neo instead of taking it time after time and just boom, boom. That's not what this life's supposed to be like, right? So I want to give you what you need to be able to embrace these days with the best potential that you've got so that you can feel at the end of the day like, man, if I didn't nail it, I got real dang close. All right. Okay. Who has a question for me? Todd?
So I just want to have a comment. So this week has been good for me because I've started my movement again. So I was getting a little stagnant, and so every day this week I did my little routine with these little movements in the morning, and it doesn't take long, like you demonstrated, and it's a success like right off from the beginning of the day. I just feel like I've already got a win, and then I start making better choices with my meals and my food choices. And so I love, just for me, morning is the best. I get the movement in, check the box,
I
and
love
then
that
what I
too.
find is later in the day I like park further away, walk a little further into the store, take the stairs instead of the elevator. So getting off to the right start for me, even with some small movements like this in the morning, have been very helpful.
Thank you. That's excellent feedback. And that's the truth. The very first decision you make in the day sets the trajectory for the rest of it. So if you're in the pattern of hitting the snooze, and I hit the snooze, and I hit the snooze, and I hit the snooze, when you finally get up, it's going to take the brain about 4 hours for us to get out of that brain inertia where we try to put ourselves back to sleep. So if the first decision I make is to get up when the alarm goes off, I'm in a pattern of success already. Right? What I do with my first 5 minutes makes a difference too. Do I make my bed? Do I drink some water? Do I head to the restroom? Do I get on social media and start feeding my brain with whatever is out there? Those 5 minutes are key. So to get to there, to movement, to my cup of Java, right? And now all of a sudden I'm in a pattern of success. And I already have things knocked off the list, right? Movement's done, hydration first thing, I'm into my first good meal or fueling my body. So I'm in 2 pillars of health already. Now, like Todd says, it gets easier to stay in that pattern, right? I'm going to walk farther. I'm going to make sure I have my supplements to take with me. I'm going to stack my pack my stack like you saw me post, that little vitamin stacker that's got all my different things in there. These are things that I'm going to do to make sure that I'm supporting myself and that I'm winning all day. Now, let's say you junk the game, right? Let's say you go have a burger for lunch and you have a piece of pie. That is not a wash. It starts in the next 5 minutes after that. If I make a mistake, I go, it's okay, but I'm getting back to it. I don't take a break and go till tomorrow because tomorrow becomes the next day and that becomes next week and that becomes next month, right? So I made that thing, but that's okay. I'm gonna give myself a little grace, but I'm going back to program because that's where I feel best. And so when every morning, these little movements are, like you said, not meant to be super long program, really hard to do, quick and clean and get it done, right? And then check it off the list. If you have more energy later, come do it again. There's nothing that says it only has to be once, right? And these movements are going to build on each other. So one week we're going to start here, and then next week you might see some similarities, and then we're going to intensify, and then it's going to build up to here. And the good news is, if you're bringing friends into the program, they're not going to jump in where we're at. If we're in week 4 and it's their day 1, the stuff that's coming from the app is going to release in a sequential order so that they're in this right pattern and they've got me for support on the individual side, right? So there's no worry about, we've been doing this for 6 months and I want to bring someone new that sits on the couch. That's okay because we've got the order right and we're going to keep moving through it. Anybody else, questions or comments, feedback?
Hello, Coach.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I had to jump in because I do have to go to another meeting. This was absolutely great, Kristi. You know,
Thank you.
your energy is phenomenal. The simplicity of what you're saying we should be doing. I mean, even in those small movements, I'm like, wow, I felt that, in a good way. right? And the most important thing is it's about movement, right? Just being happy with the movement. This week we got some snow, and I called myself, well, I'm going to shovel the snow. Well, I had no option because I don't have a snow blower. But I was out there and I have an 80-foot driveway and I just shoveled the snow. And it wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough for me to get a nice workout in. And that was my movement, just shoveling the snow. And so anytime you can just get some movement in and appreciate that movement, you have success. Progress is success. So thank you, Kristi, for sharing. I'm looking forward to many, many more. Everybody continue to, focus on doing good things. You win already. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks, Terrence.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. I think that's so true, right? It's about just the right challenge. And that's why when I put something out there, if you're like, Coach, that's not for me, please do not hesitate to ask me for a modification for that. I teach a silver sneakers class with a bunch of the cutest, dearest, sweetest people on the planet who are 65 years old and older. And we do a full hour, 2 times a week from a chair or standing. So there's no way that there's not a movement out there that you wouldn't be capable of doing. Okay. So whatever I put out there, just know that I can pull that all the way back to the biggest little baby step type of the movement from the start of it to the greatest progression, right? With weight load. So, and know this, if you know someone that's out there that has different fitness goals, right? It doesn't have to be just about functional fitness. If they've got other fitness goals, this program is for them too. These products in this program is what I used in bodybuilding to help me prep and prepare for not just my systems, but my mental health, my brain in getting ready for competition, for stepping on stage. And I know most of us are not going to try to put on a swimsuit and go on a stage and have someone scrutinize our bodies. But I just want to say, from the athletic side of this to the functional side of just the right challenge, we got it all. So don't hesitate. Share this with everyone. You guys, we've got the best thing here in the world. I promise you. And it's just going to get better because as we learn, we're going to grow and we're going to grow together. And that's what's exciting. Phil and Florine, anything for me? You, ma'am, are the master also. This lady looks like she's about 35 with that body. And I know that that's not the number on the age on her driver's license. So,
right, it's not. But I want to check. This will be recorded, right?
absolutely.
Because most time on Fridays, I may not be able to make it, so I can pick it up after then. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Florine is a true testament to that. Found the program, leaned into the system, did what she could to match her capabilities. And when you see pictures of Miss Florine, she does not, her physique does not look like someone that matches that age on that driver's license. That's what I'm going to say about that. She definitely looks like she has aged backwards. She's got, I'm telling you, she's got strong bones. She's got strong muscles. Her systems are working well. Her cognition is there. I'm telling you that this is why, right? This full body program from the top to the bottom and inside out, this is the thing that's going to keep you in it. Susan, how about you? I know about your wins already this week. You want to share about a little weight loss? You're muted. We're trying to get there. She's trying to get unmuted. Okay. Susan, yeah, there we go.
I'm unmuted. Yeah, I just in a week and a half of like we stopped drinking the zero sugar soda and just did the shake and the good food, and I've actually lost 8 pounds. So that was like huge for me this morning when I stepped on that scale. It's like it was a big thing. So other than a couple of glitches, they're not huge though. Like as far as my blood work, I don't think they're that big. You know what I mean? The cholesterol, it says like high on it, but one is like 3 points above, and then the other one is what, 17, but it was, I mean, it's doable.
Right. Right.
Um,
When you have a health profile screening, right, those numbers are meant to be benchmarks. So we look at that and then we say, what do we need to do to improve that? And so if those are things that you've gotten blood work panel done and you know what your A1C is, or you're looking at HDL and LDL levels, cholesterol levels, and you have questions, raise your hand, because not only am I a personal trainer, but I'm also a nutritionist, and I understand because of Todd, I'm telling you now, because of Todd, I understand how to talk to people about what might be going on in your body that you can't see, and what we might be able to do to help, reverse that. And not, we're never going to walk away without being at risk for something, right? But I want to remind you that when the doctor tells you you're at risk for prediabetes, so is he. Every single one of us is, right? We're all at that state where if we don't make right choices, we're putting ourselves at risk for health concerns. And so the thing that I want to talk about too is just making sure you're being consistent. That didn't happen because Susan took a magic pill. It happened because she practiced behaviors consistently day after day after day. And in 8 days, she's seeing results. And that's what this is about. If you looked at my weight loss progress from when I started this program to now, it does not look like smooth sail on a slide. It looks like an EKG. It looks like highs and lows and ups and downs and travel and hormones and this and that and bulking and cutting and blah, blah, blah. It looks like a reflection of what my goals were in my health. And that's what it should be, right? And so no matter what your goal is, then we devise how we get there. That's what a coach does. That's what we're here for, is to help you get from where you are in pain to Pleasure Island. And just have that guide. And the cheerleader, like Todd said, when that music was playing, it wasn't wrong, because one of my biggest jobs is to be your cheerleader. It's to celebrate the successes and point out those non-scale victories and shout out when you need to have a little bit of a standing ovation for the effort that you've done. When you get that and you feel supported and you're being accountable, it's a lot easier to stay in the progression of things. It's a lot easier to belly up to this and show up on Friday mornings and lean in and hear the information, or be a little bereaved because you can't, and then be like, I'm getting to that replay as soon as I've got the time to do it, right? So lean in. That was the key to my success. I didn't look at our coaches in the past as elite or professional or celebrity. I looked at them as resource. I looked at them as my partner. And when I had a question, I didn't hesitate to raise my hand and ask, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this how I take this stuff? Is this the order I'm supposed to be doing this in? There's a lot we don't know. And so until you ask and you get the information, you're kind of in that zone of limbo, right? And so if you want to get it right, keep it simple. And that's the thing I'm going to tell you. You do not have to be a mixologist to get this thing right. It's water and what we've put in front of you and the simplicity of it. Get the patterns right and then get creative with it, right? Eat the food that Jennifer's putting out there, the recipes, because it's all in alignment. You're taking the support that's provided. You've got the meal replacement shake. You've got the good healthy fat and the good healthy meals that are in alignment with what we're trying to get to. So you don't have to do a lot of the thinking, right? It's like when you take a course and you don't go to the teacher and then second guess everything that they're trying to teach you. You just follow along and you do what you're supposed to. And then at the end, you feel like, okay, I accomplished that thing. And most of the time you see some results, right? So let's just do that. Let's just make a commitment to just lock arms like we already have, and to stay consistent. Every single day, it's a little bit something more than nothing equals into greatness at the end of it. When you look back after 60 days, I promise you, if you kept putting one foot in front of the other, we got somewhere, right? So it's as simple as that. Let's just keep that commitment. Let's stay connected. I'm yours, like I told you. So let's just do this good thing. Get your movement done. I want to see a selfie. I want to see some sweat over here. I want to see a little bit of fat crying. So get loud on that group page, okay? Get loud in there and sharing your success. Document it. Take your pictures. If you have not taken a before picture yet for this challenge, now is the time. This weekend, I want you to find a black pair of shorts or a black pair of pants, a black tank top or a black shirt, and then stand somewhere, like if you've got a picture on the wall or you've got sconces, right? Or put a water bottle standing up, a full water bottle by your foot, okay? By your right foot in each of the pictures. That's going to give us some relativity. And then when we're making progress and we take the next set of pictures in about 30 days, then when I put those side by sides together, that's how we're able to see the progress in the physique. Okay. So I use the water bottle for relativity to make sure that that's about the same size so that the skinny picture isn't this big and the bigger picture isn't skewed, right? So that you can see. And a lot of times you'll get it back and you won't have a head, right? Because if there's a face on there, we're going to focus on the face. But if I'm from the neck down, I really can start to see where the changes are. See the change in the shoulders, see the change in the chest. Notice that there's a little bit more width between the arm and the rib cage, right? What is the belly doing? Where are your pants? Is your waistline still low, or is it up high, or is it coming more into the center? So how are your clothes fitting, right? What's your posture like? A lot of times as we come into better health, we go from a position of kind of being slumped over and slouched here, and all of a sudden we're standing up really tall and we're really kind of centered over the hips and more in balance, right? And so that's how I can see change in difference without having to be at a club with you every week, right? We did this thing for a long time before I ever got to face training. And so if there's something that I know, it's how to look at those pictures and then help you understand what I'm seeing, and then give some suggestions and maybe a little bit of prescriptive advice about how to get to the next set of progress, right? So, all right. Anything else left? I want to keep it kind of sweet and simple. 30 minutes is my goal. As this thing grows, I'm going to do about 20 to 30 minutes in the beginning, then we'll open up for questions. So we'll never be more than about 55 minutes. That's what my goal is. Anything else for me today?
I think it's great, Kristi. Thank you so much. Sure
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Good to see everybody. Have a great
Have a fantastic day. I'm looking for your posts. I'll see you this weekend.
Bye now.
Bye.